In this video, I'm going to briefly explain 6 tips on how to select a good laptop. Now, this could be a guide to help you find a laptop whether you're buying it for yourself or as a gift for somebody else. Let's get started.
We want to invite you to participate in the conversation. If you have a tip, share it with the audience in the comment section right below this video. Comments and questions can be shared there as well. And stay up to date with the evolving conversation by simply hitting the subscribe button at the top right of your screen.
Now, some of the tips that we're going to list, like for example, what's your budget, what do you want to do with the laptop, the specs, whether you should buy new or refurbished, may seem as common sense. But when you start to look at them and you want to compare different computers side by side, these are actually pretty important considerations to make when selecting a computer. Let's start with the first one. Our first tip is take into account what you want to use the computer for, or if you're buying it as a gift, what the recipient is going to use it for. Are you going to use it as a laptop for college? Are you going to gift it to a student? Are you going to maybe give this to a gamer? Or are you going to use it in business, your work, or maybe some senior elderly parents you want to give it to? These are important factors for identifying some of the features and qualities in a laptop. Now, in our example computer that we have here on your screen, it's a 15-inch laptop. Now, laptops do come in larger sizes and they come in smaller sizes. The size does matter because if you're going to transport your laptop around, a much larger screen than shown here might prove cumbersome. Whereas for a gamer, a larger screen would be of value because it helps enhance the gaming experience. A much smaller screen would be good for transportability or very close personal use as well. So definitely take into account the size of the laptop. Like the engine on a car or a truck, the more things you want to do with this laptop, the more powerful you need the guts inside to be. So if you're pulling a really large, heavy trailer with a truck, you want a powerful engine, powerful brakes, powerful suspension. With this laptop, if you're going to do a lot of stuff with it, you want to make sure it has a lot of power. For example, the RAM, random access memory. The higher the number, the more capable it is of multitasking and using programs that require a lot of power. But with that comes a higher price. We're going to look at price later on. The other thing that you want to take a look at is the hard drive. A lot of laptops, not this one, but a lot come with 500 megabits of storage. It's not a lot, but it's ample if you're just doing some simple things like emailing and doing some web surfing. But if you're going to store a lot of items, whether they're videos or photographs and other types of digital storage media like you're writing, you'll probably want a larger hard drive. This particular laptop has a terabyte built in. That's not substantial, but it's not average either. A terabyte's a good number to look at. Again, that's going to drive your price up. Another specification to take a look at. You know, most laptops today have Wi-Fi built in, right? But does your laptop have Bluetooth? Now, Bluetooth, if you're not familiar with it, it's a short range wireless connectivity between devices. So for example, we're going to call this laptop a device. If you have a digital camera or a smartphone, we'll call that also a device. If both your laptop that you buy and your smartphone or camera or other device has Bluetooth built in, that will allow you to transmit certain files, and files is maybe not the best word to use, but photographs or music or other. Now, if you want that feature, make sure the laptop you're looking for has Bluetooth built in. But also make sure that your device, whether it's a smartphone, iPhone, Android phone, or Windows phone, has Bluetooth that supports the type of file you want to transmit. For example, iPhones won't transmit photographs via Bluetooth to a laptop, whereas a other smartphone, an Android phone, will.
We're going to take a look at some of the connections on the outside of the laptop. Starting on the left of your screen is the VGA. This is a common connection point. Generally, you'll use this if you want to hook your laptop up to a larger desktop monitor, or in some cases, high-definition televisions have this connection as well. Next is the RJ45, which is for connecting to a router, which ultimately will get you to the internet if you have internet service. But keep in mind, most laptops have Wi-Fi built in, wireless built in, so if you don't want to use the RJ45, you can use your Wi-Fi. The next one, HDMI, this is for connecting your laptop to a high-definition television screen using an HDMI cable. So if you want to stream content from the internet and view it on your TV or anything else that's on your laptop, you could use this connection point. This is an optional connection. The last one is USB. Now USB is a pretty common connection point on laptops. We're going to go over those in just a second. On the front of our example laptop pictured here is also an SD card slot. This is not available on all laptops, so you'll want to decide if you need this, want this, or not. An SD card is simply an external storage source, which we'll show you an example of in just a moment. But if you want to expand the memory capability of your laptop and make that memory portable, you'd want an SD card slot like the one pictured right here. Here are two different versions of an SD card. You can pick these up at local retailers or online. Taking a look at the other side of our example laptop, we see we have additional USB ports, which I mentioned earlier that would be important to have. This particular laptop has 3. So you'd connect a mouse or an external keyboard or some other accessory that's available for purchase elsewhere. But also you'll notice it has a built-in CD/DVD player. If you add software and you have the CD disc, you can put it in here. And you can also put movies in here and music CDs.
We decided to zoom in a little closer to go over our next tip, and that's the operating system. Now, the operating system is the software that basically controls and allows you to use the actual laptop itself. Now, the operating system that you're looking at here currently is Windows. It's Windows 7. And we're not saying that you should go out and look for a Windows 7 machine. We're just using it in our example. Google makes an operating system for their laptop, the Chromebook, and Apple makes an operating system that they call Mountain Lion for their Apple products. Well, Windows is probably the most commonly known operating system, but Windows makes a multitude of operating systems. The more current version of the Windows operating system is the Windows 8 series, which the Windows 8 series is a little more geared to tablets as opposed to a laptop like you're seeing here. So when we acquired this laptop, we went ahead with a Windows Home 7 Premium operating system because we thought it was a little more user-friendly for a laptop compared against Windows 8, which is a little more user-friendly for a tablet. But the operating system is really going to play an important role in your decision a lot of times because it will, in fact, impact the price that you're going to pay and the budget that you're going to set for yourself for a laptop. For example, the Google Chromebook, which is an ecosystem specific to Google, has an operating system that's specific to Google and from Google, but it's maybe not as costly as a laptop like we're looking here in this example, and certainly not as costly as an Apple product. Now, our next tip has to do with actually your first thing to decide, what are you doing with the laptop? And that is to make sure the laptop you're looking at has the software that you need to perform the functions you want the laptop to do. For example, if you're getting this as a gift for a student going to college or a student in high school or maybe even middle school, if they want to write papers and they want a software to be able to write and edit those papers, you need to make sure that that particular software is already on the computer. For example, this computer that we have here is this example, because it's a Microsoft-based operating system, doesn't come with Microsoft Word, which is Microsoft's common article writing software. So this would have to be purchased over and above the price. Whereas with more expensive laptops, a lot of times you'll get that software already built in. So just because the price seems a little low doesn't mean the laptop's going to do everything you want it to do straight out of the box. Now, the Google Chromebook, because their ecosystem is unique, you can get into what's called Google Docs and do your documents that way and make them portable across the cloud. So that's a real nice feature. Our sixth tip, and the last tip we want to point out is, should you buy a new one or should you buy a used or refurbished one? And we can only tell you our experience. We can't tell you what to do. Now, this particular unit is brand spanking new, straight from the factory. We have purchased used, we've used pre-owned laptops in the past, and we've acquired refurbished machines in the past. And from our experience, what we've typically found is that there's usually something wrong with them. Whether it's software that's perhaps corrupt in the laptop, somehow it got into the laptop, whether it's through malware. And yes, we'll get comments in the bottom of this video about, various malware softwares that are available. We understand that. But we're talking about pre-owned machines and refurbished machines. The other thing is there might sometimes be hardware internally that has been damaged and wasn't visible to whoever claimingly refurbished the machine. So from our experience, we've always had difficulty with pre-owned machines or refurbished machines. They never quite turned out to be what they were. So whereas the price might seem really attractive and the advertising in relation to it might seem very appealing, where they'll say something like it's mint condition or we fully went through it, etc., etc., you never fully know until you get it into your hands, and then all of a sudden you've spent, $300, $400, $500, $600 on what you thought was a great machine, when in fact you just gave your money away and you lost it. So take that into account. Hey, we hope this video helped you out. By all means, please replay it right when you're shopping for a laptop, because you can use this as a guide for how to find a good laptop. Would you please subscribe to our channel? That button's at the top right of your screen. If you know anybody who can benefit from this type of information because they're shopping for a laptop, will you share the video with them, post it to Facebook, post it to your Google Plus page, something like that. Hey, thanks for watching and have a great day.